I was cleaning up last night and I ran across the street to put some stuff away, and I grabbed all of these pry bars and stuff, and I brought them back over here and took this one and just gave it a little try right away, and this eccentric started coming out. So hopefully it comes the rest of the way out and these other two come out as easy as that one did. That would be awesome. Can't remember which end of this I used. All that. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's try these other ones. And no damage to my bolt from elsewhere on the planer. This one isn't going to come as easy. Oh, there we go. You just got to get that force moving in the right direction, and this has the right angle on it to pull this straight out. I'm going to clamp. Well, I want to clamp this down, but it's almost out. Beautiful. One to go. I was pretty worried about these because they have a real nice polished finish, and if this had any rust on it at all, they would have been hell to get out, and they probably would have been frozen in there. Alright, this one's going to be a little more difficult. I'm going to have to put two clamps on there, but it moved a little bit. It's going to come out. I did mess up my screw. No biggie. We'll just get a new screw. And take these out first. Don't want to damage two screws. Yep, just got to get it at the right angle. All right, the eccentrics are out. All right, we're down to the base and the gearbox. The gearbox has to be disassembled to get the cutterhead out of there so we can put the Shelix cutterhead on. Hopefully there's no problems in there. I originally had a 13-inch Delta planer, and it didn't have any feed rolls on the bed. And what it did, the bed would get really sticky. You had to constantly lube it up. But even with that, it shredded the gears in the gear case. Delta discontinued that model, and they sent me this planer instead. And I assembled the base. The whole top part came as is. And I have this marked on the underside which holes are for the top. You could see that it's got all these holes here. I believe they use this base for a whole bunch of different stuff. Bunch of different planers maybe. Okay, let's get this taken apart. We'll clean up a bit, and then finally we'll tackle this. And that leaves us with the gearbox. First thing I think I'm going to do is remove the knives. Probably should have did that a long time ago, but I didn't. And then what we're going to do, I think I'm going to get a piece of plastic. This is drained, but there's probably going to, well, actually I got plastic underneath the paper right here. So if I just move it back, it should be okay. Remove all of these little bolts here, and then I believe this has a couple pins holding it in place, so it's not going to come out real easy. So I'll take this and tap my way around, just kind of keep flipping it and tapping until I get it loose, and then that's going to wrap it up for the disassembly. I'm not going to take the cutter head itself off of here in this video. This video is going to end with this case opening up. The cutter head needs a very narrow, a very thin wrench to get the knives out, and I have one of those, but I have no clue where it is, and I'm not going to go looking for it right now. It's about 8 degrees out right now, so that's not that important that I find it right now. We'll just be careful, and we won't slice our hand open on the knives. They are very sharp. Gasket's still good. Fell on the floor, but absolutely nothing got damaged. It fell on the cardboard and then bounced over. Beautiful. Okay, that's going to do it for the disassembly. Got that completely disassembled. Base over here. Well, a little bit of the base over here. Yeah, lots of stuff. So there's more disassembly to do, but it's not going to be in this video. I need to disassemble these columns the rest of the way so I can get them dechromed, polished, and rechromed, or possibly nickel plated. I can do that here, so I just need to get them disassembled and cleaned up real nice. I should be able to do all of that here. Same thing with the feed rollers, but I may not need to dechrome those. Those might just clean up, and in a controlled environment, they should be fine after that. And finally, we get to this gearhead / cutterhead assembly. I believe this gear right here, this pin goes into this bearing right here. I believe it's exactly the same on the other side. If I can't wiggle it out, which I may be able to, I think it's coming, but we'll do this another day. If I can't wiggle it out, I'll use a gear puller on it and pull it straight out. That should just pop right out. And then we have a retaining screw for this bearing here. We'll get that out of there. And I'm going to find something for pounding out these bearings that is the exact right size. And we'll pound the cutter head out of there. And I'll pull this bearing off with a gear puller as well. And from there, the assembly will begin. And what I'm going to do with that is clean and do a little bit of straightening on these base parts. And then, where's my wheels? I'm going to get my wheels on there. I have some bushings and stuff like that, so that'll be nice and strong. We'll get the base repainted, sanded down a little bit, straightened out, repainted, and we'll get that assembled first. And then we'll clean this up, get this all nice and polished, and put on some ceramic wax on it, and put that on the base, and we'll work our way up until we have the whole machine reassembled. We'll clean it, paint it, do whatever it takes. I'm going to be doing the bluing on a lot of these parts, but I think I will do the bluing per part or per section. Like the stuff for the base, I'll blue that and then put it on right away. These are things that need replacing. These are the little bolts for the top here. They're really rusty, and these came in and out a bunch of times. Every time you adjust the blade or sharpen it or whatever, these had to come in and out. So they're in kind of bad shape, and they're only, a dime a piece. So we'll just get 4 new ones. The missing circlip for the column, we'll bring this along and get a replacement. I'll probably get all 4 of these. They look, well, it looks pretty straight. Maybe we'll just get the one. And then this is that little bolt that I used to pull out the eccentrics. Oh, actually, they're down here somewhere now, right there. And it has a little bit of damage on the threads. We'll replace that. And within a month or so, we should have ourselves a better than new planer. With any luck, I'll be able to get this brazing on video, and I'll probably put that on Patreon only. Same thing with the columns. I'll probably put that on Patreon only, but the rest of it is going to all be on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe and come back to see it.